I woke up to loud thumping. Clock said 8:15. The banging didn't stop. It got louder. I dragged myself out of bed, threw on my robe, slid into my slippers. Who the hell pounds like that this early? Went downstairs, looked through the peephole. Woman on the porch. Looked like crap. Nervous. Kept glancing around. I opened the door. Daisy? I said. Yeah, Mike, it's me. Can I come in? She said, voice cracked. I stared at her. 10 years older, way thinner, pale as hell. Eyes sunken, hair a mess. The smell hit me like a slap. She looked like she crawled out from under a bridge. No, I said and slammed the door. She knocked again, harder, now crying. Please, Mike, please, I'm begging you, just open the door, Daisy sobbed. I yanked the door open. What the F do you want? I snapped. I told you 10 years ago. Never wanted to see you again, never. What part didn't you get, and why the hell are you here? I thought you and Dr. Perfect moved to Milwaukee. She wiped her face. Her hands shook. Can I just come in? Daisy asked. I'm starving. I'm dead tired. I really need the bathroom, please. She was about 10 seconds from pissing herself on my porch. I sighed, stepped aside. You know where it is, I said. Bathroom's in the same place it's always been. Move your A. Thanks, she mumbled and rushed in. Dropped her bag like it weighed a ton, slammed the bathroom door. I closed the front door, went upstairs to piss, then came back down. She was still in there. I hit the kitchen, fired up the Keurig, made myself a coffee. A few minutes later, she came out. Can I have some? She asked, eyes down. I didn't say anything right away, just stared. Then I said, I don't have that bougie crap you used to dump in your cup, just milk and sugar. Take it or leave it. Black's fine, she said, voice small. I set it down. She gripped it like it was a damn life preserver. Her hands still shook. Why are you here? I asked. I got nowhere else, Daisy said. That's simple, I asked. I spent my last cash getting here, she said. What happened to Bruce? Doctor of the Year? I asked. She looked away. Didn't work out, she muttered. I laughed, sharp and mean. Oh, really? I said. Color me shocked, she winced. We got married after the divorce. First few years were fine. Then a patient sued him, big lawsuit, ended his career. Mine too. I was his nurse. They dragged me in. We lost everything, she said. All of it? I asked. Everything, she said. House, cars, jobs, savings, gone. We ended up in a crap apartment. No work except minimum wage crap. It was hell. She took a sip, kept going. Then Bruce changed. Mean, violent, started hitting, blamed me for everything, told me it was all my fault, she said. You stay long? I asked. Too long, she said. One night, I caught him in bed with some girl from our building. I laughed again, cold. So the cheater got cheated on. Karma's a witch, I said. It's not funny, she said, eyes wet. Oh, it's freaking hilarious, I said. You remember our 10th anniversary? You didn't hit me, no. But you ripped me to pieces. She didn't argue, just whispered, I know. Do you even realize what today is? I asked. She blinked. No, she said. 10 years, to the day, since you walked out with him, I said. I stared hard. You report him? For hitting you? I asked. She shook her head. Too scared, Daisy said. But I left. Got help from a sorority sister. Lawyer, she helped me for free. After the divorce, I had nothing, just a bus ticket and cab fare. I haven't eaten in 2 days, she added. So what? I snapped. You want pity now? She said nothing. You can find sympathy in the dictionary, I said, right between crap and syphilis. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I know you hate me, she whispered. I cut her off. Yeah, I do, I said. I freaking hate you, just as much as I once loved you. You were everything. And I was just the warm-up act, the temp job till someone better showed up. And now that it all blew up in your face, you come crawling back to me? Where's your family, your friends? They've all disowned me, Daisy muttered. Her voice cracked, then she just fell apart, shoulders shaking, mouth open, silent sobs. No crap, I snorted. Can't imagine why. You and the golden boy ever have kids? No, she said, bitter. Never. Turns out Bruce is shooting blanks, and somehow that was my fault too. Well, thank Christ for that, I said. World don't need more of you two screwing up the gene pool. She wrinkled her nose like she'd smelled something bad. Probably me. What happened to you, Mike? Daisy asked. You used to be so kind, sweet, compassionate. I laughed once. No humor in it. Rage twisted in my gut. What happened to me? I said, eyes locked on her. You happened. You walked out, and whatever was good in me went with you. Now I don't trust people, don't love, don't even try. I just thought, I don't know, you'd move on, find someone else, she said, wheezing a little. Her eyes were wide, like she was genuinely surprised. Move on? I snapped. You thought I'd get over it after you tore my life apart? You were my wife, Daisy, for 10 goddamn years. And I was just the placeholder till Dr. Peckerhead showed up. I took a breath, jaw tight. You think women line up to date a guy with scars that deep? You think they want some sad fool whose wife ran off with another man on their damn anniversary? I stared hard. No one wants that, and I don't blame them. She looked down, couldn't meet my eyes anymore. Guess I shouldn't be surprised you turned into a hermit, Daisy said quietly. Damn right, I shot back. What'd you think was going to happen? I'd be your backup plan again? Just hang around till your next dream goes to crap? I was hoping you'd let me stay, just for a while, till I get back on my feet, she said. I laughed, cold and flat. Downtown's got shelters. That's what they're for. I pay taxes. Let the city help your A. I tried. They're full. The YWCA, the church, even that shelter by the tracks. Nothing. Please, Mike. I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do anything. Just let me stay, she said, voice cracking. I stared at her like I was trying to burn a hole through her. You offering yourself now? I asked, voice low. That it? Is that where we are? She flinched, looked down at the table, shoulders hunched. Her tears started again. Yeah, she whispered. I tried. No one took. Guess I don't even look good enough to be used anymore. I stared, hard. Damn. You really hit bottom, huh? I said. She sniffled, wiped her nose with the back of her hand. Maybe I should just go, she mumbled. Maybe I should just crawl into a gutter somewhere and die. Nobody'd care. I didn't say anything, just watched her fall apart at my table like a busted puppet. And the thing was, yeah, I still hated her. 10 years I lived with that hate, fed it, let it rot me from the inside. But Bruce, that a-hole? I hated him more. I took a long breath, everything in me screaming, don't, but I said it anyway. You want to eat first? I said. Then we talk. Her head jerked up. Thank you, Daisy said. I'm starving. I can cook if... No, I cut her off. I cook now. Sit. Don't touch anything. Okay, she said, sitting back down. I made scrambled eggs with cheese. Just like she used to. Fried a full plate of bacon. Toasted bread. Her eyes lit up when I set the plate in front of her. You remembered the cheese, she said. Like I used to do it. Thank you. Eat, I said, sitting down with my plate. She tore into the food like an animal, shoving forkfuls in, barely stopping to breathe. Didn't even talk. Just ate. When she was done, she looked up. That was amazing, Mike. You've gotten better. I'm sorry. I haven't eaten in a while. You still hungry? I asked. No, but could I get another coffee? Yeah, I said, and grabbed her mug. I brought it back and she sipped. Quiet. Feel better? I asked. A little, she said. The food helped. Good, I said. A shower will help too. No offense, but you stink. She shrank a little in the chair. I'm sorry, she said, voice small. I've been on buses for days. Can I use your shower, please? You know where it is, I said. Towels are where they've always been. Robes on the door. And for the love of God, don't put it back on after. Throw it in the wash. You can use the machine. She locked herself in the bathroom with her suitcase. I muttered, great. Now I gotta bleach the whole damn place. I washed the dishes, brushed my teeth, got dressed. My head kept spinning back to when Daisy left. Said she was off with Bruce. Her true love. 13 years together, 10 married. She told me, I've been sleeping with him for years. Just like that. While he was building our perfect future, she was trashing ours. She planned to humiliate me, on purpose, in public, at our anniversary party. Her friends all knew. The rage I felt then, way more than I ever thought possible. I remember thinking, should have just ripped my heart out and dropped dead. Would have saved us all some pain. The school principal called me in. You need to talk to someone, he said. So I did. Therapy helped, kinda. I could get through the day, smile at kids, nod at coworkers, but inside, still burned, couldn't get close to anyone. The therapist said, try writing it out, get it out of your system. So I started. Just one essay. It turned into 300 pages. She read it, looked stunned, said, you should publish this. She hooked me up with a contact. The book came out a year later. Didn't hit any big lists, but sold enough to matter. I changed the names, sure, but it was all real, about how my wife screwed me over and broke me to pieces. Martial arts helped too. First, 2 gyms asked me to leave, too aggressive. Then I met a retired Marine, twice divorced. Tough. He didn't flinch when I snapped during sparring, just said, "You let your feelings fight, you'll get your A kicked. Use your head." Took a while, but he was right. I got better, bruised a lot, but got better. I never thought I'd see Daisy again. Not like this. She looked awful, sick, thin, weak. The rage was mostly gone. It had all moved to Bruce. Part of me wanted to throw her out, but I thought, what if she dies? Can I live with that? And legally, would I be responsible? So I called my mom. "Sorry. Good morning, Mike," she said. "This is a pleasant surprise. What's going on?" "Guess who showed up at my door this morning?" I asked. "I won't even try." "Who?" she said. "Daisy," I said. She sighed. "What's wrong? What does she want?" Mom asked. I told her everything. How Daisy looked, what she said. "She doesn't look well, Mom. My gut says throw her A out, but you wouldn't be able to live with yourself if something happened to her," Mom finished. "No, I don't think I could. Besides, Bruce was abusive to her." "I know she hurt you badly," Mom said, "but maybe you should listen to what she has to say. I'll tell you this, why don't I come by later when I'm done here?" "That's not a bad idea, Mom. I could use your wise counsel. Give me some time and I'll come over." "Thanks, Mom. I appreciate it." We hung up. I threw on a t-shirt and jeans, went downstairs. Daisy had her clothes in the washer, was waiting in the living room in my old robe and slippers. I didn't know if she had anything on underneath, didn't care. Even with the robe tied tight, I saw stains on her legs. She smelled better, but still looked like hell. "Want more coffee?" I asked. "Yeah, please," she said. I poured her a cup, sat down. She sipped. Her hands shook. "Thanks," she whispered. "My clothes are in the washer. I'll leave when they're done." "No rush," I said, "but I got some questions. Hope you don't mind." "Sure," Daisy said. "Least I can do." "You said Bruce was being sued. Don't docs have insurance for that?" I asked. "He did," she said, "but it turned into a class action. Then more came forward. The company dropped him, said it was too much, even after most claims weren't true. Still got dropped. We lost everything. Got fired, licenses gone." "Most? So some were true?" I asked. "Ones with no proof got tossed," she said. "Didn't matter. Damage was done." "Didn't you two have 401ks?" I asked. "Yeah," she said. "We lived on that for a year. Took a hit pulling out early, but we needed it." "What's Bruce doing now?" I asked. "Parking lot job. $16 an hour," Daisy said. I let out a short laugh. "So, what's your plan?" I asked. "Maybe office work," she said. "Can't be a nurse, but I know enough to help out somewhere." "How you gonna get around?" "Where you gonna stay?" I asked. "Walk, or take the bus," she said. "I'll figure it out, but yeah, takes money." "Thought you said you're broke." I looked at her. "I am," she said, eyes down. "So what? Thought I'd just let you stay here and float you till you get back on your feet, that it?" I asked. "I knew it was a long shot," Daisy said. "But yeah, I hoped. I gave you everything in the divorce. I thought maybe you'd show some kindness. I was dumb, I know now. Coming here? Stupid move." "You're right, I don't owe you damn," I said. She looked crushed. I sighed. "But I'm not a monster," I added. "You clearly need help. Mom's coming over. She wants to talk to you before I make any calls." "Of course," she said. "I always liked your mom." "She loved you like a daughter," I said. "Loved?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "So don't lie to her. Be straight, got it?" "I got it," Daisy said. "I'll be honest. And Mike?" "What?" I said. "Thanks for everything," she said quietly. "Don't thank me yet," I said. Doorbell rang. I looked. It was Mom. I let her in and gave her a hug. "Daisy, my God, girl. 10 years, Mom said, seeing her in my robe. They hugged and kissed cheeks. "Good to see you, Lorraine," Daisy said. "Mike, sweetie, let's girls talk," Mom said. I headed to my office, closed the door, opened my laptop, searched up Bruce's case. Found it. Took a while. He saw 2,000 kids in 4 years. Gave 97% an epilepsy diagnosis. Most of them didn't have it. Some were just tired. He gave strong meds, harmful side effects, pushed treatments no one needed, and Daisy, her name was in there too. Almost every kid that came day through got labeled epileptic, one lawyer said. Daisy delivered the news. Bruce backed it. The hospital refunded over $300,000 to the state. Medicaid fraud, state fined them, revoked licenses. I leaned back, shook my head. Bruce ran the scam. Daisy followed him. Knock on the door. Mom poked her head in. I waved her in. What's wrong? I asked. Daisy needs to see Dr. McGregor. Soon, Mom said. My gut dropped. McGregor was our family doc. Mom used to work for him. Why? I asked. I'm no doctor, she said. But I've seen women with cancer. I bet she's got it. She kept going. I know she screwed you over, Mom said. But if she's sick, we help. That's who we are. She gave me that little crooked smile. Never said being Christian was easy. And hey, me and your dad didn't raise you to be some cold-a-hole, did we, Michael James Carpenter? I wrinkled my nose, gave her a tired grin, shook my head. I called Terry, she said. He'll see her today. Run tests. Help her get Medicaid stuff sorted if needed. She's getting dressed. I'll drive her. You can't afford that, Mom, I said. Let me give you money. I pulled out $200 bills, handed them to Mom. Thanks, Mike. You're a good son, she said. Thanks, I said. But this ain't for her. I'm doing it because of how you raised me. Doesn't mean I forgive her or take her back. I understand, Mom said, soft. It got quiet. Did she tell you that fool hit her? I asked. Yeah, she did, Mom said, calm and flat. I nodded. Fool should pay for it. Call me if you hear anything, I said. I will, she said, kissed my forehead, and left the office. I walked out. Daisy had changed. New dress, just as worn as the last. Thanks for breakfast, she said, quiet. You're welcome, I said, stiff. I held the door. They left. I locked it, grabbed coffee, went back to the office. Started digging into Wisconsin law on spousal misuse. Didn't look good. Most cases had to be charged within 3 years. No clue when Bruce hit her, but my gut said it was too late. What would they even do to him? Jail? Probably not. That costs the state. Best he get us some community service. Maybe I'll deal with him myself, I thought. I slammed the laptop shut, changed into gym clothes, went downstairs, eliminated myself on the bike, put it on mountain mode, focused on the fake hills. Daisy wasn't the only one who changed in 10 years. Back when we got married, I was skinny, but soft. Now I was solid. Gym 3 times a week. No excuses. After the workout, I showered, changed, had a light lunch, turned on the news. Around 3, Mom called. I was starting to wonder what happened to you two, I said, picking up. We just finished with Dr. McGregor, she said. She sounded tired. Felt like Daisy wasn't in earshot. What's the word? I asked. He's worried. Tests look bad. Thinks it might be cervical cancer. Wants an oncologist to confirm, she said. An oncologist? I repeated, seeing dollar signs already. She filled out Medicaid and emergency forms, Mom said. She's got an appointment at the cancer center Friday. McGregor set it up. He says she's malnourished, likely misused. We know she was misused, I said. She told me she hadn't eaten in days. It's worse. She's missing core nutrients. It's serious, Mom said. Her voice cracked a bit. Look, it's late. I'm getting her food, then Walmart. After, we'll swing by your place for her stuff, if that's okay, she said. She should stay with you, I said fast. I'll be here. Thanks for understanding. I'll call you when we're headed back, she said. Love you, son. Love you too, Mom, I said and hung up. 3 hours later, she called again, said they were close. I opened the door when they got there. Mom nodded toward the study. We stepped inside while Daisy packed. Sorry it took so long, Mom said. It's fine, I said. What's up? We're keeping her for a few days. A lot to do before Friday. I know you're done with her, but she told me she still loves you and asked if... I shook my head hard. No, Mom, hell no. Not even as friends. She lied. Cheated on me for 13 years, made a fool of me in front of everyone. That's not love. I'm done. I'll be polite for you. But I'm empty. I got nothing left. Not for her. Not for anyone. I get it, Mom said. I just hoped maybe you'd forgive. Start fresh. That ship sailed 10 years ago. I told her that. She thinks she still has a chance. She doesn't, I said flat. You're not the man she left, she added. No, I'm not, I said. And sometimes I miss that guy too. At least he used to smile. She gave a weak smile. Come for dinner Friday. I'll cook your favorite, she asked. Lasagna? I said, a flicker of hope. Yeah, she said, smiling for real now. I'll be there. Your lasagna still works magic, I said. We hugged, then went back to the living room. Daisy stood there with her suitcase. I'll stay with your mom if that's okay, she said softly. That's her call, I said, glancing at Mom. Anyway, thanks for breakfast and for listening, Daisy said, voice cracking. You're welcome, I said with a short nod. Don't forget dinner Friday, Mom said. Be here by 6:30. I'll be there, I said. I stayed busy the next 2 days. School was out, but I still had work. New curriculum, lesson plans, yard stuff, kept my head clear. I didn't think much about Daisy. Figured she was fine. Mom could get past any red tape. She used to be the best damn nurse and billing expert around. Friday came. I showered, grabbed a decent bottle of wine for Mom's lasagna, and got to her place at 6:15. Daisy opened the door. Her eyes were red. I didn't ask. Thanks, I said flat and walked past her to the kitchen. Mom turned, saw the wine, smiled. I set it down and gave her a hug. We sat. The lasagna was top tier, but Daisy looked like she was hanging on by a thread. How'd it go today? I asked. We got her Medicaid approved, Mom said. All thanks to that new online system. Wish they had that when I was working. She was trying too hard to sound cheerful. So her meds are covered? I asked. Yes, plus a small monthly check. Not much, but she won't need much. She's staying here, Mom said. They gonna squeeze Bruce for support? I muttered. That's the plan, if they can find him, Mom said. Good, I said. What about the cancer doc? Daisy's face dropped. So did Mom's. I knew it was bad. Stage 4 cervical, Mom said. It's spreading fast, already in her limbs. But it's treatable, right? I asked, unsure how I even felt. Mom looked at Daisy. Daisy gave a small nod, one tear slipping down. Odds are under 20%. They'll try, but it's late. If they caught it 3-4 years ago, odds would have been above 90, Mom said. 3 or 4 years? I asked. That's what the docs think, Daisy said low. Back then, I had a shot. Now, 19%. Bruce didn't notice something was wrong? I asked. No, Daisy said. It was bad between us. I felt things changing, but I blamed stress. Didn't want to give him one more thing to witch about. What kind of changes? I asked. It hurt during the Zex, she said. Bad enough we stopped for a while. I was glad she didn't say more. They've got new meds, Mom said. Might bump her odds up by 10 to 15%, better than nothing. So what now? I asked Daisy. Fight or die, she said. And I'm not ready to die. Got stuff I want to finish. I didn't ask what. How long's treatment? I asked Mom. A year? Maybe more. A lot can happen in a year. She's staying here that whole time? I asked. I didn't want her near my place. Yes, Mom said. I may be retired, but I still know how to care for people. I'll be with her the whole way. All right, I said, not thrilled but couldn't argue. Can you handle all this? Mom asked me. I looked at Daisy. A long time ago, I'd have done anything for her. Then I remembered what she did. She saw it on my face. I know you don't trust me, she said. Understatement of the damn year, I snapped. Let me be clear, if you hurt my mom cause any crap at all, I'll throw your A on the street. Cancer or no cancer, got it? Got it, she said, voice shaking, tears falling. No need for that, son, Mom said. Let me get dessert. I'll help, I said. Nope, Mom said. You two need to talk. She left. Daisy wiped her face. I started reading your book, she said. It's good. Was I really that bad? I've got video, I said. Didn't tell you, but I hired a guy to film the party for the kids back then. He caught everything, guests too. Some sent me phone clips. Oh my God, she whispered. I watched those videos too many times, every second, every word. That's what the book is. I still have the footage. Want to see it? I said it calm. My face said something else. No, that won't be needed, she said. No wonder you hate me. After reading it, I kind of hate me too. I never thought, she started. That's right, I cut in. You didn't think. Worse, you didn't care. Every time I close my eyes, I see you and Bruce, I said, laughing, making a fool out of me, kicking my heart like trash. For years, I pictured eliminating you both in 100 bloody ways. Daisy stared, sobbing, horrified. I wasn't done. It's all in the book, I said. After your people and friends turned on me, told me to move on. Be happy for you. I said, screw that. Easy for them. They weren't the ones dumped and left in the dirt after being told they were loved. I started hating everyone. My boss, Mr. Smith, told me to get help. Good thing he did. I was close to snapping. The shrink told me to write. That's how the book started. Yolanda told you to hit the gym too, remember? Mom said, walking in with the pie. Yeah, she'd been eavesdropping. Is that why you look so good now? Daisy asked, wiping her eyes, trying to change the subject. I've never seen you like this. Thanks, I said. Yeah, martial arts, gym, helped a lot. But you're still mad, Daisy said low. Way better than before, Mom cut in. 2 years ago, you wouldn't have made it through the door, maybe through the window, on your head. I'm sorry, Mike. Really, Daisy said. I knew I'd hurt you, but I didn't know I'd destroy you. That's why I gave you everything in the divorce. I thought it'd help you heal. You didn't fight back, so I thought you'd be okay. To be real, I said. My lawyer was stunned by your offer, said, sign fast before she changes her mind. Have you dated anyone since? Daisy asked, hesitant. Not really, I said. Few drunk hookups, I don't even know their names. I saw Mom's face twitch. She bit her tongue. I didn't care. God, Daisy sighed. I don't even know what to say. Sorry won't fix it, will it? Nope, I said, cold. We ate pie in silence. Daisy looked crushed. I didn't look at Mom. After I got up, Mom walked me to the door. You sure about this, Mom? I asked. What about her family? Called her parents. They're in a nursing home in Florida. Refused to speak to her. Her sister, too. They won't help? Nope, nothing, Mom said quiet. She's got no one, Mike. What a messed up family, I muttered. Then I looked at her. Even when I turned bitter, you stuck by me. You and Dad always said family takes care of family. Still believe that, Mom said, eyes shiny. What are her real chances? I asked. Mom glanced back toward Daisy. Honestly, no idea. Medicine's come far, but I've seen strong people die and weak ones live. No one knows. Depends if she wants to live. If she's got something to live for. I didn't answer that. I'm worried about you, Mom. What if she pulls something? I get why you don't trust her, she said. Thanks for worrying, but she's got nothing left. No reason to act out. People with nothing. I said, have nothing to lose. Be careful. If you need anything, call me. I will, Mom said. But I don't think you need to worry. Hope not, I said. Thanks for dinner. I'll check in. Love you. Love you too, son, she said, kissing my cheek. And try not to unload on her. She's barely holding it together. Don't push her over. I'll try, I said with a sigh. That's all I ask, and I swear, I'm not playing matchmaker. Thank you, I said, gave her a faint smile, and walked away. The next couple of months flew by. When I wasn't getting ready for the school year, I kept myself busy fixing up things around the house. Classes kicked off at the end of August, and I promised myself at least a week to chill before diving back in. Every Friday, like clockwork, I had dinner at Mom's. I watched Daisy waste away little by little. Chemo was wrecking her. She looked worse every week. I used to think treatment meant getting better, but yeah, turns out that's not always how it works. By mid-August, her hair was gone. She wore one of those soft chemo caps made from bamboo or whatever. My feelings for her didn't change. I still held a lot of crap inside, but I kept it civil. It made things easier for Mom. At some point, Bruce started sending her some money. Not much, but something came out of his checks. Daisy opened a bank account, and Mom made sure the cash landed there. Daisy told her to keep a cut to help with groceries and bills. At first, Mom resisted, but in the end, she agreed to take 10%. She tucked it away in a little box. I figured she was saving up for a funeral, just in case. Or maybe when, not if. The Friday before classes started, I drove over like usual. Right away, I spotted this beat-up old Toyota parked at the curb. Wisconsin plates. And just like that, I got this bad feeling in my gut. I pulled into the driveway and went inside. Mom was sitting on the couch. Daisy was curled up in a recliner, wrapped in a blanket. I heard some noise coming from the kitchen, and then I saw Mom holding her phone. Please, God, I thought. Tell me she already called emergency. I figured out why they were so damn jumpy. Bruce came out of the kitchen like it was his house, holding a half-eaten sandwich and a can of soda. That part of me I'd kept locked down for a decade? It woke up growling. Still tall, yeah, but the shine was gone. Dude looked like crap. Pale, greasy, hollowed out, unshaved, hair all over the place, dirty jeans, some ragged denim shirt with mustard on the collar. He used to dress like he ran Wall Street. Now, he looked like he lived behind a gas station. Well, well, Bruce smirked, taking a swig. If it ain't the teacher prick. I didn't blink, didn't move. My fists clenched on their own. I'd never been in a real fight, but 10 years of martial arts taught me one thing. Avoid it if you can. Even if you win, it sticks to you. What the hell do you want, Bruce? I asked, voice flat. That witch robbed me, he growled. I want my money back. Robbed? I tilted my head. You mean the court making you pay support like a grown A-man? Same damn thing, he spat. They bled me dry. I'm getting kicked out next week. But you found gas money to drive all the way here? I said. Interesting priorities. Don't FK with me, schoolboy, he snapped. Should have kicked your A back then. Only reason I didn't? She begged me not to. Said you took care of her. Like I owe you something for playing husband while I was busy busting my A. You want a medal? I said. Leave now, Bruce. Walk out that door and pretend this never happened. Daisy's sick, I added. Cancer. You showing up with your bullshit isn't helping. Bruce paused. Then he laughed, mean and cracked. Cancer? That her new scam? He set the sandwich down, soda can clinking on the table. Then he reached behind his back. My heart dropped. He pulled a revolver. I brought the cure, he sneered, aiming it straight at Daisy. Don't you dare, Mom snapped, standing up. I already called the cops. They're almost here. I moved, trying to block Daisy, but Bruce shifted the tool at me. Stay the hell still, teach, he hissed. Hands shaking, finger way too close to the trigger. Then red and blue lights hit the windows. A megaphone cracked outside. Mr. Williams, this is the police. We know you're armed. Step out now, hands up. You hear that? I said low. Do what they said, Bruce. Don't make this worse. His eyes darted around, wild. How the hell they know I had a piece? I told them, Mom said, calm as hell. I saw it when you bent over. Another voice came loud from outside. This is your final warning. Drop the tool and come out with your hands raised. Bruce was panicking now. His eyes hit each of us. Me, Mom, Daisy. He was losing whatever nerve he had left. You're out of time, I said. One more dumb move and it's over. Then the back door creaked. 2 cops burst in, tools drawn. Drop it! Bruce turned, eyes big, and raised the damn tool. They fired. The noise tore through me like a bomb. My ears rang. Daisy screamed, then dropped. 2 more cops rushed in from the front. Mom ran to Daisy, grabbed the old antimacassar off the couch and pressed it to her side. I just stood there, frozen, brain blank. 1 cop called for an ambulance. Another helped Mom with Daisy. The other 2 moved in on Bruce, checking his pulse. One of them shook his head, dead. I was shaking like hell. Half of me wanted to yell, celebrate that he was gone. The other half couldn't believe how fast it all went down. Mom stumbled back. I caught her. She was trembling worse than me. The officers worked on Daisy, doing whatever they could, and I just stood there in that wreck of a room, heart pounding, feeling like the air had been sucked out of the world. I was talking to one of the cops when the ambulance pulled up. A detective rolled in right after, bringing a team with him. Crime scene techs, the whole setup. While the detective was asking us questions, one of the medics checked Bruce, shook his head, and zipped him up in a body bag. Another set of medics checked on Daisy. They lifted her onto a stretcher like she was made of glass and wheeled her out. I'm going with her, Mom said, grabbing her purse. There's no room in the back, one of the EMTs told her. You'll need to follow in your car. You can ride with me, I said. The detective came over and let us know the house was officially a crime scene. We had to leave so they could do their thing. He said they'd lock up when they were done and might need to talk to us again later. Oh, and here's the info for a cleaning service, he added, handing Mom a card. She barely glanced at it and followed me outside. We didn't talk on the drive. She cried quietly. I just stared out the windshield, trying to process it all. I'd told Daisy once I dreamed about eliminating her and Bruce. Now she was clinging to life and he was actually dead. I didn't know what to feel. Maybe guilt, maybe just nothing. At the hospital, they said Daisy was already in surgery. It took a whole argument and some legal papers for them to accept that Mom was her medical proxy. Eventually, they pointed us to a waiting area. We sat. For hours. Finally, a doctor walked in. Mrs. Carpenter? That's me, Mom said, standing up quick. How's Daisy? She asked. She's stable, the doc said. She made it through surgery. Bullet went clean through, missed all the major stuff. She got real lucky. An inch over and she'd be gone. Thank God, Mom whispered. She lost a lot of blood, and the cancer plus chemo's made her body weak. That makes recovery tricky. We also found signs of a possible infection, already looped in her oncologist. What kind of infection? Mom asked. Too early to say. We're running labs now. She gonna be okay? I asked. We'll see. Too soon to promise anything. She's sedated and we'll keep her for at least a few days. Can we see her? Not tonight. Tomorrow morning at the earliest. He handed Mom a card. Here's the direct line for updates. Then he turned and walked off. When we got back to Mom's place, the yellow crime scene tape was already torn down and tossed near the porch. There was a note taped to the door from the detective, said the house was cleared, keys with the neighbor. Soon as we walked in, Mom started cleaning. I found what was left of the chair Daisy had been sitting in when it all went down. Hauled it out to my car to dump it. When I got back, Mom was on the floor scrubbing blood. Her tears were falling into the soapy water like it was just another mess to mop. I stood there for a while, then finally said, "Need help?" She didn't look up. "Thanks, but no, I've cleaned worse." "You want to crash at my place tonight?" I offered. I knew she was tough, but still. She wiped her face with her arm. "Nah, I gotta be here if the hospital calls." "Then I'll stay," I said. She looked at me, and even though she said, "You don't have to, Mike," her eyes said something else. "I know," I told her, but I'm staying anyway. If you're set on scrubbing everything, I'll at least make us some food." I gave her a crooked smile. "Hope you don't mind wine with scrambled eggs and bacon. Feels like we could both use a drink after all this." She actually smiled, shook her head. "We'll see." But she did scrub a little harder after that. I worried she'd have nightmares, but we both slept hard. Whether it was the wine or pure exhaustion, I don't know. Next morning, we just stayed busy cleaning and not talking much. Around 10, the phone rang. I gave her space, stepped into the kitchen. She came in 5 minutes later. Daisy's still in rough shape, but stable. They're doing a bunch of tests. Said she should be back in her room by mid-afternoon. I just nodded. Couldn't tell what I felt, mostly blank. "Think you could give me a ride?" she asked, snapping me out of it. "Of course. What time? 2:30 work?" "Yeah, I'll be ready." I headed out early, dumped the broken chair, ran a couple errands, then met Mom back at the house. From there, we drove to the hospital. Before we went up, we stopped at the gift shop. Got a card, a vase of white carnations. Daisy always loved those, and a paperback Agatha Christie, the same one she was reading when she ditched me for Bruce. When I paid, Mom gave me this weird look. "What?" I asked. She just shook her head. "Nothing." My face was probably red. "Don't start." "You still care about her, don't you?" I shrugged. "Nah, not really. Just figured it might cheer her up." I stared at the change in my hands like it said something rude. "Uh-huh," she said, patting my hand. "Mike, the opposite of love isn't hate. It's not giving a damn. When hate fades, it doesn't mean nothing's left. Sometimes it just means you remember who someone used to be. And don't worry, I won't tell anyone." We walked into Daisy's hospital room. She was awake, but looked wrecked, like someone had wrung her out and left her to dry. Mom kissed her cheek and handed over a card. When she saw the flowers, her whole face lit up. "These are my favorite," she said, voice raspy but soft. "You remembered." "Yeah," I said, holding up the book. "You were reading this one right before you ran off with Bruce, remember?" She gave a tiny nod. "I never finished it. Thanks." She didn't look at me while flipping through the pages, but she hugged the book to her chest like it was something she needed. "Any word from the doctors?" Mom asked. "Not yet," Daisy said, shaking her head slowly. "They said maybe tomorrow." "That's fine," Mom said gently. A nurse stepped in. "How are you doing today?" "Like trash," Daisy groaned. "My stomach and side feel like they've been through a meat grinder." "They'll figure it out soon," Mom said, trying to sound hopeful. Daisy hesitated, then asked, "What happened to Bruce?" Still wouldn't look at me. "He died at the scene," Mom said quietly. "Good," Daisy snapped, suddenly more awake. "Glad he's gone." Mom winced but didn't say much, just patted her hand. I stayed quiet. Hearing her throw Bruce under the bus didn't fix the past, but it chipped away at the fury I'd carried for too long. Another nurse came in to check vitals. "Time for meds, Mrs. Williams," she said, handing over a small paper cup of pills. "Call me Daisy," she said, taking them with a sip of water. "I'm not pretending anymore. I want to move on." "You got it," the nurse smiled. "You should try to get some rest." That was her way of saying we should probably head out. "When will we know more about the test results?" Mom asked. "Dr. Samuels is coordinating with her oncologist," the nurse said. "They'll probably have more by tomorrow morning. You've got our number if you need anything." We said goodbye. As I was leaving, Daisy gave me a long, quiet look. I gave her a half smile and gently shut the door behind us. I dropped Mom off at her place, then went home to finish up some chores before the week started. Next morning, we met at the hospital. Mom had gotten there early, She volunteers there a few days a week. Not long after I showed up, two doctors came in. One was Dr. Samuels, the surgeon, and the other introduced himself as Dr. Kincaid, Daisy's cancer specialist. They both looked like they were trying not to panic. "What's going on?" I asked, bracing myself. Dr. Kincaid answered first. "Daisy has a serious infection, peritonitis, along with diverticulitis. That's what's causing her symptoms." Dr. Samuels chimed in. "Our scans show some pretty big infected areas in her abdomen. Her gallbladder's likely ruptured too. We'll have to remove it." Mom grabbed my hand tightly. "How did this even happen?" I asked. "It's probably been building for a while," Kincaid explained. "Could have been a condition she already had. The cancer and chemo just pushed her over the edge." "So what now?" Mom asked quietly. "She needs surgery," Dr. Samuels said, "but not right away. Her body's too beat up from the last operation. We're giving her strong antibiotics for now, trying to get the infection down before we risk anything else." "And chemo?" Mom asked. "We're putting that on hold," Samuel said. "Her body can't take both." "What are her odds?" I asked, trying to stay calm. They exchanged one of those silent doctor glances I hated. "To be straight with you," Samuel said, "if we don't operate, she won't make it. But even with surgery, she's hanging by a thread. These antibiotics might mess up her system even more. Right now, they're holding the infection back, but they won't fix the damage. If we'd found an open rupture, we'd have been in there already, high risk or not. She's right on the edge." Kincaid nodded. "Even touching her intestines in surgery could tear the tissue. It's that fragile. We need her stronger, first. Once the infection dies down, we go in, clean everything out, fix what we can. Only then can we even think about restarting chemo." "And if we wait too long?" I asked. "She dies," Samuel said, no sugarcoating. "If she gets the surgery?" I asked again. 30 to 40% survival, Kincaid said. "Best estimate based on what we see." Daisy, quiet until then, finally spoke up. "So if I don't do it, I die. If I do, I've got about 1 in 3. "Pretty much," Kincaid said. "But if you make it, we go back to fighting the cancer." Daisy slumped back against the bed. "Then there's nothing to decide. Let's do it." "We'll get things in motion," Samuel said. The doctors left, and Daisy broke down. Mom sat beside her, hugging her close, stroking her hair like she used to when we were kids. "You've got this, honey," she whispered. "You've got the best care. You're gonna pull through." I couldn't stay. School started the next day, and I needed a break from the storm we were in. "I gotta head out," I told them. "Classes start tomorrow. I'll check in, if that's okay." "I'd like that," Daisy said, her voice quiet. For the next couple weeks, I stuck to my word. I showed up for Daisy. We talked. Not just about surface stuff, real things, teaching, my book, her screwed-up marriage with Bruce, our own messy history. We didn't hold back. One afternoon, I finally asked something that had been bugging me since she came back. "Can I ask you something?" I said. "What really went down with your family? Why do they act like you don't exist?" Mom tried reaching out. They straight up said they're done with you. Daisy nodded like she'd been waiting for the question. "You remember when I told you they cut me off after the lawsuit?" she said. "What I didn't tell you, they knew about Bruce the whole time." I blinked. "Come again?" "Yeah, from the beginning. Bruce promised to help them out. Money, vacations, whatever. They agreed to keep it quiet. My parents, even my sister." I sat back, stunned. "Your sister too?" Her eyes dropped. "Yeah," another kick in the chest. "So they sold you out, and you used me like a spare tire," I said, voice flat. "I know," she whispered. "I'm not proud of it." We didn't talk for a while after that, just sat there in that heavy silence. Then she finally added, "Everything really fell apart after the lawsuit. We lost everything. That's when they dropped me, like I was nothing." "That explains how they treated me after you left," I said, like I was just some idiot waiting on standby. She didn't try to deny it, just nodded, eyes on the floor. Still, we kept talking. Day by day, something shifted. I didn't forgive her, but I didn't hate her the way I used to. Bruce being dead took the edge off. I still hoped he was rotting somewhere deep. But that rage, it wasn't burning like it used to. When the day of her surgery came, Mr. Smith let me take the day off. I got to the hospital early, sat beside her as they prepped her for the OR. "Look," I said, "I've said a lot of cold stuff since you came back. I just want to say, I'm sorry. For all of it, I hope you pull through." She gave me a soft smile. "Thanks, Mike." That means more than you know. I deserved what you said, but I'm still sorry. You were the best man I ever had in my life. I know it's too late for us, but I do love you." She took a shaky breath. "Promise me something?" "Sure. No matter what happens, find someone. Someone who actually makes you happy. You deserve that." That one hit hard. Her eyes were so clear, like she meant every damn word. "I'll try," I said, voice low. She gave a small nod like that was all she needed. Then the orderly stepped up. "We've got to take her in now," he said gently. "One more second," I said. I leaned down, kissed her cheek. "You've got this," she smiled. Just for a second, I saw the girl I married way back when, and some buried part of me wondered if she ever really stopped loving me. I stood up, feeling weirdly lightheaded. The orderly rolled her away. Mom touched my arm. "That was really sweet, Mike," she said softly. We followed the gurney down the hall to the OR doors. Then we waited. The hours crawled. I tried watching whatever was on the waiting room TV, but I couldn't focus, just kept replaying everything. 10 years of it. Mom sat quietly, working on one of her endless Afghans. I paced and drank enough vending machine coffee to give a horse a heart attack. 6 hours later, Dr. Samuels finally showed up. One look at his face, and I knew. He led us into a small side room, shut the door, and sank into a chair, like all the air had been punched out of him. Rubbed his eyes. Didn't say anything for a minute. Mom grabbed my hand, squeezing so tight it hurt. We both knew what was coming. "I'm really sorry," he said. "We did everything we could, but there was too much infection, too much internal damage. Her body just gave out." He paused, voice cracking. "She had a DNR, and she'd signed off to donate her body for research. When her heart stopped, we stayed within what we were allowed to do, but we couldn't get her back." "I'm sorry for your loss." Mom broke down instantly, crying hard into my chest. I held her and nodded at the doctor. "Thanks for trying," I said quietly. We shook hands. I saw him swipe at a tear before he left. Once Mom calmed down, we walked to Daisy's room like we were sleepwalking. We didn't say a word while packing up her stuff. Nothing left to say. Then I saw it. A small envelope tucked in the nightstand drawer, with my name on it in her handwriting. I opened it and read, "Mike, if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it. I was hoping you wouldn't have to. But I know you, and I know you'd be the one packing up my things, carrying more than your share like you always did. First, thank you. Thank you for coming back into my life when you had every right to slam the door shut, for sitting beside me, talking with me, treating me like a human being when I probably didn't deserve that anymore. You and your mother, you were the only ones who didn't completely abandon me when I was already at my lowest. I've spent the last few nights lying in this bed, replaying everything I did to you. I don't know what I was chasing back then. Excitement, validation. Maybe I just didn't want to admit I was already married to someone better than I ever hoped for. You gave me stability, love, loyalty, things I took for granted, and I threw all that away for someone who didn't know how to love anyone but himself. I betrayed you. I know that. And what hurts most is knowing I didn't just ruin our marriage. I broke something in you. I saw it in your eyes the first day you came to see me again. You weren't the same man, and I'm the reason why. I know there's no going back. And I'm not writing this because I think you owe me anything. You don't. I just need you to know I was wrong. About Bruce. About everything. You were the one who truly loved me, the one who showed up, even when I gave you every reason not to. If I had one more chance, I wouldn't waste it. I'd fight for us, not against us. But life doesn't work that way. Some damage is permanent. Still, if I'm gone, I hope, God, I hope you find peace. Real peace. I hope you meet someone who sees you the way I should have. Someone who holds your hand without letting go. Someone who understands how much you carry and loves you even more for it. I'll never stop being sorry. I'll never stop loving the man I walked away from. That will always be the biggest mistake of my life. I hope in some small way this letter softens even one sharp edge inside you. With everything I have left, Daisy. I just stared at the letter, eyes locked on her handwriting, not even realizing I was crying until drops hit the page. Mom placed a hand gently on my shoulder. "What is it, honey?" she asked. And that was it. Something inside me snapped. I broke down, full-on ugly cried, the kind you can't hold back. I handed her the note with shaking hands, unable to speak. It was the first time I'd cried like that since Dad passed 6 years ago. She read it. Tears welled up again in her eyes. We didn't say much. We just hugged each other and let it all out. When we finally pulled ourselves together enough to finish packing Daisy's stuff, I felt different. The rage, the resentment, the poison I'd held on to for a decade. It was gone. For the first time in 10 years, I felt still, like something had let go of me. It was strange to say out loud, but her passing, her final words, had healed a part of me I thought was long dead. We signed all the hospital forms in silence. I followed Mom back to her place and helped carry Daisy's things inside. Dinner was just warmed up leftovers. Neither of us said more than a few words. After we did the dishes, Mom disappeared into her room. When she came back, she handed me something small, a photo. Daisy, sitting in Mom's favorite chair, smiling faintly. Her hair was gone, the chemo cap barely covering her scalp. "I thought you might want something to remember her by," Mom said softly. I nodded, pulling her into a hug. "Thanks." She pulled away and looked at me. "Do you want to call her family, or should I?" "I'll handle it," I said. She sighed and handed me a piece of paper with the number on it. I talked to them once. That was enough. We hugged again before I left. Back at my place, I sat down and stared at the number for a second. Then I called. Her father picked up on the second ring. "Fred, it's Mike Carpenter," I said. "Teach." "What the hell do you want?" he said. "Daisy died today. She didn't make it through surgery," I said. "So what?" he said flatly. "She's been dead to me for years." "I just thought you'd want to know," I said. "I don't. You calling me like this does nothing. She was a disgrace," he said. "She threw her life in the garbage, and now she's where garbage belongs." "Jesus, Fred," I muttered. "Don't Jesus-is me," he snapped. "That girl burned every bridge she had. You think I give a damn she's dead?" I celebrated the day she walked out of our lives. "She was your daughter," I said. "No," he said, cold as ice. "She was a mistake I let live too long." "She donated her body to cancer research," I said quietly. "Great, maybe her sorry corpse will finally be good for something," he said. "Now don't call here again, ever." He hung up. I stared at the phone. For a second, I wanted to call back and let him have it, but what would that change? Nothing. Instead, I let out a long breath and called my principal. "I'm sorry, Mike," he said quietly. "How are you holding up?" "I've been better, but I'll manage." "Take the rest of the week," he said. "We'll log it as paid family leave." "Thanks. That means a lot." When the call ended, I grabbed a cold beer from the fridge, sat down at the kitchen table with the photo in my hand. Daisy, smiling, soft-eyed, sick, but somehow still present. "And here's to you, kid," I said, and took a long, slow drink.